Thanks for joining us tonight. We're starting with breaking news. Tsunami waves could begin to hit Hawaii within the next half hour. This after a massive 8.8 earthquake off the coast of Russia earlier this afternoon.
All Hawaiian islands, as well as parts of Alaska, are under a tsunami warning. Coastal areas in Washington, Oregon, California are also bracing for potential impacts. People in Hawaii have been evacuating since the alert was first issued roughly 4 hours ago. Many roads filled with cars as people were heading for higher ground.
Tourists at some of Hawaii's most iconic beaches, from Maui to Waikiki, have all been told to get out of the water and get to higher ground. Flights on their way to Hawaii are being rerouted. Let's give you a live look right now from Waikiki Beach in Honolulu. The beaches are now deserted as dusk falls. People have been told to seek shelter. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center estimates the first waves could hit as early as 10 p.m. Arizona time. We'll definitely keep you updated throughout the newscast.
Right now, we want to get straight over to meteorologist Lindsay Riley. And Lindsay, where are we expecting to see some potential tsunami impacts?
Well, Hawaii, Alaska, and all up and down the West Coast. We'll show you where the current warnings and advisories are. Now, the West Coast from Washington State all the way down through Southern California, that is a tsunami advisory. Possible waves around midnight. This could mean a series of waves. The first one, not necessarily the largest, and it also could just mean really bad rip currents and some minor flooding. So those areas could be impacted around midnight. Then we go up to Alaska, which is under a tsunami warning. This means things are imminent. Dangerous currents, flooding is likely, and folks are urged to move to higher ground. And this is all southern portions of Alaska. Moving down to the Hawaiian Islands, also under a tsunami warning with possible tsunami impacts in under 30 minutes. Just mentioned some of those waves possible as early as 10:10, just a couple minutes from now. Now, what is a tsunami? Well, we have the fault line where the earthquake happens. The Earth's plates rub against each other, causing an underwater earthquake. As that will eventually push the water up, and that then moves toward the coast. And once it starts to get into some more shallow water, that's when the wave grows. But it may not be just one wave. Again, it could be a series of waves. It could also present itself with more of a rip current. So it's actually a longer duration event when you have this possibility. It's not just one wave, so we'll continue to monitor it throughout the night. Caribe?
All right, Lindsay, thank you. Just a few hours ago, a serious crash on the Loop 202 sent multiple people to the hospital and caused a traffic nightmare for drivers headed to the East Valley. The highway just reopened just before 9 o'clock.
We're told one person is now fighting for their life. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly is there and has details.
All lanes are back open, but just a few hours ago, everyone heading east toward Mesa on the 202 were at a complete standstill. Arizona Department of Public Safety telling me this crash involved 6 different cars. 5 people were rushed to the hospital, with one person suffering life-threatening injuries. As DPS investigated, all cars behind the crash were stuck for about 2 hours. Check out this video showing the massive backup involving hundreds of vehicles. It got to the point where drivers were actually getting out and walking up to troopers to see what was going on. Eventually, DPS allowed drivers closest to the crash to turn around on the 202, head the wrong direction, and then get off at the Priest Drive exit. All cars involved have since been towed away. The cause of this crash has not been released at this time. We'll be sure to keep you updated on air and online. For now, we're in Tempe. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Chase, thanks. New at 10, Scottsdale police have made multiple arrests after 2 people were found dead in a car near 120th Street in Shea. Officers arrested 18-year-old LeBron Rogers along with 2 juveniles. The shooting killed 20-year-old Ramon Moraga and 21-year-old Nadia Mishliwick. Police say they found evidence at Rogers' home linking him to the murders. The 3 suspects are all facing multiple felony charges, including murder.
Mesa Police are investigating after 2 dead bodies were found in a home near Baseline Road and the Loop 101. Details right now are very limited, but we're told detectives are on scene investigating. Mesa Police have not said if the deaths are considered suspicious, but crime scene tape was seen wrapped around the home. Right now, we're working to learn more information, and we hope to have updates for you tomorrow on Today in AZ.
Tonight, the family of a construction worker who was killed in a trench collapse is speaking with 12 News. They're questioning what safety precautions were in place.
The man was buried alive in a trench at a Goodyear construction site. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra is in studio now with the newest details, and that just sounds absolutely horrific.
The family is just crushed by this, and Goodyear police are calling it an accidental death, but both safety experts and family believe this is an incident that could have been prevented.
A difficult image for the family of Ronald Baccarat Jr. to see.
It's a sad tragedy that this had to happen when it shouldn't have happened this way.
Rescue efforts that turned into a recovery mission. The 44-year-old construction worker died after becoming trapped inside a 6-foot deep trench at a work site in Goodyear.
But if you liked him, there was a good reason why you liked him. He'd help you out. Just a good guy. There's a lot you can say about him.
The mother of his 2 kids, Melissa Pardo, tells us Becerra was an auto mechanic by trade and had only been working in construction for a few years. He was a loving son and father.
They're not really holding up much at all. So they're devastated. They're torn.
The family questions what safety precautions, if any, were protecting Becerra at work.
My first impression is always like, this is a preventable incident from happening. And if we have the proper training and the proper procedures and equipment in place, each construction worker can go home to their families every single day.
Brandon Glenn, the president of Safe First Safety Consulting, isn't associated with this construction site, but he does specialize in safety training. He tells me trench deaths happen every year in Arizona, and it's partially because of the soil. In this case, the dirt was collapsing faster than rescue crews could dig.
Arizona in a whole, but the Metro Phoenix area has really sandy soil. We consider it type C soil, which is the least stable soil.
But Glenn says between proper training and proper safety equipment, the risk should be significantly reduced for workers.
Shields, shoring, benching, sloping, there's a bunch of different mechanisms we could use to ensure that when we're down deep in a trench, the employees are going to be safe.
It's unclear what safety precautions were in place at the time of this incident. I reached out to ADOSH, the state agency that investigates workplace fatalities, but did not immediately get a response tonight about where their investigation stands. In studio, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
All right, Gabby, thanks. Tonight, a 3-year-old child is in critical condition after being pulled out of a Scottsdale pool this morning. Firefighters say the child was found unresponsive at an apartment complex near Scottsdale and McDowell. Crews performed CPR before rushing the child to the hospital, where they remain in critical condition.
Tonight, the Valley is mourning the loss of longtime activist and former state Senate Majority Leader Alfredo Gutierrez. Gutierrez died after a battle with cancer. Gutierrez rose from humble roots in Miami, Arizona to political power, a governor's run, and a career in media. Last year, he returned to ASU to finish the degree that he started decades ago after being expelled for protesting as a young activist. He was 79 years old. A major update today in a case that we have been following closely. Kujo Young has been indicted for first-degree murder for his alleged role in the heinous death of Mercedes Vega.
His indictment comes 2 years after Vega's murder and almost 5 years after he allegedly robbed her at gunpoint. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono has been reporting on this story for over a year and has the latest from Superior Court.
Kujo Young.
For the 18th time, suspect Kujo Young's armed robbery case has been delayed. This time, it comes after he got rid of his lawyer, opting to represent himself.
Why do you want to represent yourself?
We just have a disagreement about a certain way that I want to proceed to trial.
In October of 2020, Young is accused of robbing Mercedes Vega at gunpoint after following her home. Then, in April of 2023, he's accused of working with 2 other accomplices to murder Vega to prevent her from testifying against him.
Her murder was a result of her being willing to testify and stand up for herself.
Vega's parents have now made it their mission to get justice for their daughter, not only for her murder, but for the armed robbery, a situation they said terrified Vega and ultimately led to her heinous death. They believe Young has been taking advantage of the legal system to delay that justice.
This has been pushed back so many times. This is just another tactic that he's using, but I can't wait for him to represent himself.
As the armed robbery trial is pushed back to February, a new case has been opened. Young has now been formally indicted for first-degree murder, among other charges, for the role investigators say he played in Vega's death. Officials say he flew accomplices Sincere Hayes and Jared Gray from Tennessee to Arizona to help carry out the crime. Then, the 22-year-old woman was kidnapped from her Tempe apartment, tortured, and ultimately found inside of a burning car off the I-10 freeway.
We have to continue to fight for her.
While Vega's parents believe this latest delay is evidence of a legal loophole that needs to change, they're relieved to see murder charges filed, hoping it's a step towards ultimate justice.
We lost the battle today, but we're going to win the war.
And both Kujo Young and Sincere Hayes are expected to appear before a judge again on Friday. The third suspect, Jared Gray, awaits extradition. We're in Phoenix. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
Bianca, thanks. Right now it is 10:12 here in Phoenix, but as we give you a live look at Hawaii, it is 7:12. The first tsunami waves are expected to hit at any moment. We continue to track it here on 12 News.